Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. You are watching Felicia Finish the Book, and I am Felicia, and today I am coming to you with a massive book haul. Massive, well, at least massive for me. It's the biggest book haul I've ever done, and can you believe that it's been like within a matter of 3, maybe 4 days that I have accumulated all of these books. I'm proud of myself, actually. So let's talk. Let's talk. Okay, so it's been a minute since I have actually decided to really buckle down and read some fiction. I want to read more fiction, so here we are. Here we are. Look at this. Look at this. Doesn't it just look beautiful in the background? Like, doesn't it just look amazing? Doesn't it? Doesn't it look like Christmas? Cupcakes? Ice cream with a sprinkle on top? Cherry on top with sprinkles. That sounds better. So the first book that I have is The Secret. The Secret, and this is by Rhonda Burns. I got this at the library, and they have a bookstore, which I just found out about. Okay, I've just been to Bookish Heaven, and this was $1, actually. Wait, was it $1 or $2? Maybe it was $2, because hardback is $2 and paperback is $1. But I feel like she only charged me $1 because it was so thin. Anyways, The Secret is basically about the law of attraction. I think there's stories in here where someone gives their quotes. What exactly is happening in here? This is a nonfiction book, and I do know that it's primarily centered around the law of attraction. I've heard about it several times. I think there's quotes in here or stories in here that basically reveal experiences of the law of attraction. I'm not exactly sure, but I do know that this is based on the law of attraction. That's what the main topic is of this book. So, excited to read this. I have never read any of the Harry Potter books, never seen the Harry Potter movies, never. When I was younger, I was told that watching Harry Potter movies were not morally correct, and so I just didn't watch it. And also, I didn't have a big desire to watch it either. I didn't have a desire to watch it, and I wasn't that big of a reader back then either, at least for the fantasy genre. And I'm not the hugest fantasy movie watcher either, but I'm trying to change that. I'm trying to expand my horizons when it comes to movies and just the genres when it comes to movies and when it comes to books. And so I'm always hearing how good the Harry Potter series is and just how it helps you to really be more creative and imaginative. So I decided to pick up the book. Now, it has been like, it's been a journey to track this book down, but I tracked it down at the Goodwill. And it's so funny to me because I actually was able to get this book put on hold at the library, and it looked just like this, but worse than this. So you can tell that these books are definitely loved. There's an obsession with them. They are completely loved and then destroyed, and I just want to buy my own copy. I almost bought my own copy, but I wanted some more books, but I'm just gonna have to buy my own copy. And now that there's the illustrated book version, I'm going to probably purchase that, although it's a bit more expensive. But I have the first book in the series, which is the Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. I'm on page 75. Again, I'm not like the most huge, I'm not the biggest fantasy lover, so I'm just like ready for him to hurry up and be at the school and just basically performing all of these magic tricks that he's going to perform as a wizard. So I'm just waiting for that. But yeah, I finally, you know, just know that I've met Hogwarts and Dumbledore, and now we just have to start doing the wizard stuff. So that's pretty much where I'm at with that. Hopefully I'll be more knowledgeable about the terms, and then I can talk and the way that you bookish fantasy lovers do. But right now I'm just like, okay. So again, I want to expand my mind when it comes to reading genre. So I picked up, oh, right. So this was like 99¢ at the Goodwill. Okay. Today I picked up Richard Newsom's The Billionaire's Curse. And this is about a young boy who inherits a lot of money from his aunt, but then he finds out that someone murdered his aunt. And so he goes on a quest to track her down. So this is the Archer Legacy series, and this is book 1 in the series. It's a middle grade book. I'm excited to read it because, again, I just want to be open-minded. And I know a lot of adult readers will still read middle grade books, so you know, I want to do that as well. I have another nonfiction book. I also got this at the bookstore, and again, all paperback is $1, so like I really cashed out. So this is Fast Food Nation. I've heard about Fast Food Nation a few times, and this talks about, I guess, the epidemic of obesity and the role that fast food plays in that. I follow a podcast. It's one of my favorite podcasts, and the host of the podcast has this book on her reading list, and she said that this book, it stopped her from eating fast food for a whole year. So let's see what happens. I'm not like the biggest fast food eater, but I'll indulge from time to time. You know, when I get to smelling those McDonald's fries, those Chick-fil-A biscuits, Chick-fil-A chicken biscuits. Yeah, my highlight is popping. The next book that I have is Extremely Loud, Incredibly Close. And this is now a major motion picture, and it's by Jonathan Safran Foer. I don't know. If you know the pronunciation, let me know down in the comment section. I hate slaughtering last names because people slaughter my last name all the time. So it said that, oh, the Los Angeles Times, Washington Post Book World, Chicago Tribune, St. Louis Post-Dispatch, and Rocky Mountains News gave this a best book of the year. So they gave it an acknowledgement of being a best book of the year. This was on the national bestsellers list. So this book is about a 9-year-old who goes on a secret mission to uncover a mystery for the death of his father, who was tragically killed in the 9/11 event. And so he goes to the five boroughs in New York, and he has to piece together these clues to uncover this mystery. So again, this is not a book that I would normally reach for, but I started reading the back, and then I started reading, you know, what people said about it, and I just said, you know what? And I actually looked inside the book, and it was like pretty interesting. Like it had like pictures like this, and just, can you, like that? And when I thought about that, I just said, that looks really unique. I think I might, like, what if I really enjoy that? So decided that I am going to be reading this. The next book that I have is Mother of Pearl. This is one of Oprah's book club books recommendations, and this is by Melinda Haynes. The book looks like it could possibly be a coming of age story where they explore family, identity, race, and redemption. I thought this looked interesting, and I mean, Oprah recommended it, so hello. I mean, it's gotta be a good read. This scares me. It's a lot of pages, but I figure it'd work out. So, Mother of Pearl, Melinda Haynes. And this was also collected from the bookstore at the library for $1. $1, holla! The next book on the list is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. Now, I'm sure you've heard tons and tons and tons and tons and tons. If you are a bookish worm, you've heard tons and tons and tons about this. If you're pretty much new to the booktube world like me, then you haven't read it yet and you're excited to read it. And this book is based on a group of misfits or friends who take on a impossible heist. And within that, there's magic, there's romance, there's tricks and all types of things going on in this book. They've actually made it into a movie, and so that is going to be coming out pretty soon. I think on Netflix maybe, so yeah. Oh, and it's part of this is a duology. So The Crooked Kingdom is next. So I'm excited to read this. I really, really want to read this first before everything, but I have to do nonfiction November, so I'll probably read like little parts of this, but I don't know if I'll actually be able to really read it. I did pay full price for Six of Crows at Barnes and Nobles. I felt like it was worth it. I feel like every time I try to go to the library, it's either checked out on ebook or the physical copy. And honestly, I'm not even like an ebook type of reader. That's not like my thing. But I was willing to read it because I've heard so many good things about it. But I just went ahead and decided to purchase it from Barnes and Nobles, and it was only like $11, so $10.99, and then with tax it was like 13 something. So I feel like it was a pretty good deal and definitely worth the price from what everyone else is saying on BookTube. The next book that I have is also from the bookstore, $1, holla! And this is The Immortal List, a novel by Chloe Benjamin. And this is taking place in New York City's Lower East Side in the 1960s, the late 1960s. It's about siblings who run into or who encounter a psychic, and the psychic tells them the day that they're gonna die. And so based on knowing the future of their deaths, they live their lives based on what they know about when they're gonna die, and I think how they're gonna die. So this just tells the tale or the story of siblings who it comes from the perspectives of different siblings. At least that's what people have said in the reviews about this book. And so I'm excited to read it. I think it sounds really interesting. I mean, I've heard nothing but good things about this book. Someone actually said it was one of the best books of the year. So I think, yeah, someone said that. And yeah, I'm sure I'm not hearing things. I'm sure I've heard that. So I'm excited to read this. The next book that I have is also from the bookstore. This was also $1. This was at the library. And this is A Reliable Wife. This is about, I think this takes place in either the late 1800s or the early 1900s. And this is a story of a woman who answers an ad in the paper to go work for a man. And in that, he's a wealthy widow, and I believe she goes into it with some secrets, and then also, from my understanding, she tries to kill him, but he also is pretty deceptive and has some tricks up his sleeve as well. So I'm pretty excited to read it. And it kind of reminds me of a movie that I watched called Guilty Sin with Angelina Jolie and Antonio Banderas, I believe. So I'm excited to read a book that seems somewhat similar or has somewhat of a similar plot. So yeah, I'm excited. They say that it's suspenseful, intoxicating, a thrilling, juicy read, a real page turner. So I'm excited. Second to the last book on the list is Harper Lee's Go Set a Watchman. And this is from the author of How to Kill a Mockingbird. This story is set in the late 1960s, and it tells the story of a young woman who is trying to move on from her past, a past that was very painful, and just her moving into the future, trying to, I guess, just embracing the past, but also trying to move from it. And the characters from How to Kill a Mockingbird also show up in this book. I have never read How to Kill a Mockingbird, but I've heard several things about it, and so I'm going to read this, and then I wonder like if I'm going to want to read that book afterwards. So that's that. This was only $1 at the Goodwill, $1.50 I think. This was $10, maybe even more than that, like $13 at Target. And the last book that I have is The Woman in Cabin 10, and this is a mystery. It's a thriller mystery. It's about a woman, a journalist, who goes on a ship for vacation. While she's on this ship for vacation, she discovers a murder, and the story follows her trying to uncover this murder mystery while she's on this boat or this ship, you know, and there's only so many people on it, and I think she starts to experience she starts to get really claustrophobic because it's a very small ship, and there's you know, only but so much space, and then she's trying to figure this out. And I'm not sure if it's a page turner, but I know that I've heard like 3 or 4 people say that they enjoyed it. I first saw this book at the Goodwill when I saw Go Set a Watchman. I was looking for a really good Halloween read, and it was only $1.50. It had the color of the week, but I didn't want to get the book right then and there just because I wasn't sure, but I felt like I heard about this book before. And then I went to Barnes & Noble's looking for books, and then that's when I got The Six of Crows, and then I inquired about this book, and the woman at the register, the clerk in Barnes & Noble, said that she actually enjoyed this book. It was a good thriller, but she wouldn't reread it again, but she'd think it would be fun to read on vacation while she's at a cabin. Ironic, right? The irony. And then she said, you know, it's a really fun like thriller to read, but she wouldn't reread it. So then I thought about it, and I said, oh my god, it's only $1.50. And then I watched the Bookables. She talked about it, and she said she enjoyed it. She gave it like 3.5 stars, and it's really up to the reader to decide whether or not they like it. So I don't want to always take someone else's word for it. If they say it's 3.5 stars and I say, okay, then I'm not going to read it because you didn't give it 4 stars or 5 stars. Like, what if I actually enjoy this book? So, you know, I take reviews with a grain of salt for the most part. It's really good to be informed about what someone thought about it and to get a little bit of a brief synopsis about what the book is about. However, I can't fully take your word for it because I just may enjoy the book, or I may just absolutely hate it and give it no stars at all. So that's that. This was my last book. This was $1.50. I got it from the Goodwill, and these books are all in pretty much good condition except for the Harry Potter one, but we all know why that looks the way that it looks. So with that being said, that is my book haul for November. I don't think I'm gonna buy any more books. I know I have some more business books coming, but those are business books. So yeah, as far as fiction is concerned, or books that I just read to drift off into another world, I'm done buying books for the month of November. I've definitely met my quota. Or did I? Actually, you know what? I think I'm able to buy like 3 more. Maybe more than that. I forgot that I gave myself a budget of $40 this month. Which has been well worth it because look at all the books I have purchased, and I've only spent $20. And a big chunk of that was the $10 book. The $11 book, the $10.99 book, Six of Crows. But all the books that I've received for $20, I gave myself a budget of $40 to spend on books, and look at what I've been able to purchase. I am so excited. So actually, I'm not done. There are a couple of more books that I want to get. One is Palm Trees in the Snow. I talked about this in 2017. How ridiculous is it that I haven't gotten this book yet? And then there's like, I'm probably am going to watch a few other books book reviews just to see what else I want. I'll probably watch some October wrap-ups to see what I should get. But I am so excited to be back on booktube and active and reading and feeling all bookish and ish. You see what I did there? And then also I'm really excited to finish books. So that's that. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you're reading. Give me some suggestions down in the comment section. If you've already read these books, I mean, let me know down in the comment section. Or yeah, just book chat. Let's be bookish. Let's talk. Let's chat. Let's have some banter. Come on. Let's discuss. There's so much to discuss. All right, so I'm getting off here. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you all in the next video.